please bow your heads for a moment of silent reflection. Thank you. Dr. Spearman.
Mr. Chairman, other commissioners, the first order of business would be to set the next commission's meeting. Due to the short time schedule that we have in the matter before us, I propose that next meeting be at the call of the chair.
Sounds very good. We'll do that and see how our schedule goes.
Commissioners, on utility agenda, item number 1, doc number 2018-349C. It's the fiber light application for telecommunications services, requesting an appointment of a hearing examiner.
Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Hamilton.
Mr. Chairman, I would move that we appoint Josh Menges, Esquire, as hearing examiner in docket number 2018-349C. So moved, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. You've heard Commissioner Hamilton's motion. Are there questions or comments? Not all in favor, please say aye. All opposed, no. The motion carries. Thank you.
Item number 2, doc number 2018-272C. It's the application of Crown Castle Fiber for telecommunication services, ready for disposition.
Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Elam.
Mr. Chairman, I move we approve Crown Castle Fiber LLC's application for a certificate of public convenience and necessity to provide resold and facilities-based local exchange and inter-exchange, including exchange access, telecommunications services in the state of South Carolina, and for alternative and flexible regulation, and for approval of pro forma consolidation of Crown Castle NG East LLC into Crown Castle Fiber LLC. So moved.
You've heard Commissioner Elam's motion. Are there questions or comments? Not all in favor, please say aye. Aye. All opposed, no. Motion carries. Thank you.
Item number 3, doc number 2018-320E. This is a joint application of Duke Energy Carolinas and Duke Energy Progress regarding the Green Source Advantage program. We have petition to intervene.
Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Whitfield.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we grant the petition to intervene filed on behalf of Walmart Incorporated. So moved.
Heard Commissioner Elam's motion. No questions or comments. All in favor, please say aye.
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 All opposed, no. Motion carries. Thank you.
Item number 4, doc number 2018-337E. Duke Energy Carolinas seeking approval of the transfer and sale of property in Franklin, North Carolina.
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Urban.
this is a tract of vacant land, approximately 4.5 acres of utility property that was acquired as part of a larger tract intended to serve as a substation site for the application of Duke Energy Carolinas. However, it's been determined that the substation will be developed on a portion of the originally acquired tract, rendering this property a surplus. An appraisal gives this property a valuation of $1,489,752, which is currently under contract to be sold for $1,750,000. ORS does not oppose the filing. The original cost of the property being sold would be credited as a reduction of the amount carried upon the books of the company under account 101, electric plant and service, end quote. The difference between the sales price and the original cost of the property would be applied to account 421.10, gain on disposition of property, end quote. I move that we approve Duke Energy Carolina LLC's application for approval of the transfer and sale of the property located in Franklin, North Carolina, which is filed on behalf of Duke Energy Carolinas LLC. So moved.
Thank you. You've heard Commissioner Urban's motion. Are there questions or comments on the motion? Not all in favor, please say aye. Aye. All opposed? Thank you. And I realized I called Commissioner Whitfield Commissioner Elam a few minutes ago, so we can straighten that out.
Item number 5, doc number 2018-333E, and Duke Energy Carolinas, seeking approval for the transfer and sale of property in Eden, North Carolina.
Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Williams.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The property is a tract of vacant land, approximately 204.75 acres of utility property, and is not required for Duke Energy Carolina's current utility operations. It was originally acquired by DEC in 2015, incidental to its purchase of a tract of land which the company needed in connection with operations at its Dan River generating facility. At the time, DEC negotiated a contract with the city of Eden, North Carolina, whereby the city would be granted a 3-year option to purchase the property for $1.5 million. An appraisal determined the fair market value of the property to be $1,085,000. The city exercised the option to purchase the property for $1.5 million, and consistent with this arrangement, the property was not marketed for sale to other parties. ORS does not oppose the filing. The original cost of the property being sold would be credited as a reduction of the amount carried upon the books of the company under account 101, electric plant in service. The difference between the sales price and the original cost of the property would be applied to account 421.10, gain on disposition of property. Mr. Chairman, I move we approve Duke Energy Carolinas LLC's application for approval of the transfer and sale of property located in Eden, North Carolina, filed on behalf of Duke Energy Carolinas LLC. So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. You've heard Commissioner Williams' motion. Are there questions or comments? If not, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. And the motion carries. Thank you.
Item number 6, doc number 2018-339E, South Carolina Electric and Gas Company, requesting approval of a contract for electric service with Project 55 LLC and confidential treatment contract.
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Howard.
Project 55 is a South Carolina limited liability company with plans to locate a data center operation in the former Sarah Lee plant in Barnwell, South Carolina. Project 55 plans to invest $3 million to establish the data center and to create an expected 5 new jobs. Due to the commercial sensitivity and propriety nature of the certain provisions of the contract, as well as the highly competitive nature of the industry in which Project 55 operates, Project 55 requests and the company agrees to keep the terms of the contract confidential. ORS supports the company's contract, Project 55, and has no intention of request or confidential treatment of it, certain provisions in it. I move we grant South Carolina Electric and Gas's request for approval of the contract for electric service, Project 55 LLC, be effective as August 31st, 2018, along with its request for confidential treatment of the contract. So move, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. You've heard Commissioner Howard's motion. Are there questions or comments? If not, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. All opposed, no. And the motion carries. Thank you.
Item number 7, doc number 2018-340E, South Carolina Electric and Gas Company, requesting approval of a contract for electric service with Zeus Industrial Products and confidential treatment of the contract.
Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Williams.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Zeus is a polymer extrusion manufacturer with an existing facility in Gaston, South Carolina. The contract is related to Zeus's decision to expand its existing operations in Calhoun County, approximately 2 miles from its existing facility. It is SCE&G's understanding that Zeus plans to invest $76 million to build a facility that is expected to be completed in 2019. The expansion is also expected to create an additional 350 jobs over the next several years. Due to the commercial sensitivity and proprietary nature of certain provisions of this contract, as well as the highly competitive nature of the industry in which Zeus operates, Zeus requested and the company agreed to keep the terms of the contract confidential. Mr. Chairman, I move that we grant the South Carolina Electric and Gas Company's request for approval of a contract for electric service with Zeus Industrial Products Incorporated to be effective as of October 9th, 2018, along with its request for confidential treatment of the contract. So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. You've heard Commissioner Williams' motion. Are there questions or comments? Not all in favor, please say aye. Aye. All opposed, no. Motion carries. Thank you.
Item number 8, doc number 2018-341E, South Carolina Electric and Gas, approval of a retail power sale agreement with Capstone Charleston, Craft, and confidential treatment of the contract.
Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Elam.
Mr. Chairman, Capstone owns and operates a steam cogeneration facility at its mill in North Charleston, which Capstone intends to use to be its primary supplier of electric energy. However, Capstone lacks sufficient capacity to meet all its electric needs under all conditions. Therefore, under the agreement, SCE&G will act as a secondary backup supplier of energy. ORS supports the company's agreement with Capstone and has no objection to the request for confidential treatment of certain provisions in the agreement. I move we grant the request for approval of retail power sale agreement with Capstone Charleston Craft LLC and South Carolina Electric and Gas Company, along with the request for confidential treatment of the contract. So moved.
Thank you. You've heard Commissioner Elam's motion. Are there questions or comments? Not all in favor, please say aye. All opposed, no. Motion carries. Thank you.
Item number 9, doc number 2018-164E, the Kathy Klein complaint with South Carolina Electric and Gas. We have a motion to dismiss.
Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Williams.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, we've been notified that Ms. Klein has filed for bankruptcy, and we have been briefed on the effects of bankruptcy on Ms. Klein's status as a complainant and as an SCE&G customer. It's my understanding that SCE&G will stop all credit action on Ms. Klein's existing account, and that account will be closed as of the bankruptcy filing date. Our charges to the filing date would be included in the bankruptcy and is referred to as a pre-petition account. Once that has been done, a new account will be established for Ms. Klein using the filing date as a start date, a post-petition account. A deposit, as allowed under regulation, will be charged to Ms. Klein's account on the bill that goes out to the post-petition account. Mr. Chairman, the procedure that SCE&G has indicated it will employ affords Ms. Klein the opportunity to start anew with a new customer account. It is my hope that all parties are able to move forward. Finally, Mr. Chairman, since the amount in controversy, the pre-petition account, is now being dealt with in bankruptcy proceedings, and Ms. Klein has an opportunity to begin with a new account, and given that her complaint has no specific violation of a rule, regulation, or statute, I move that we grant SCE&G's motion to dismiss. So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. You've heard Commissioner Williams' motion. Are there questions or comments? If not all in favor, please say aye. Aye. All opposed, no. Motion carries. Thank you.
Item number 10, doc number 2018-329E, Gerald L. Snyder complaint, Duke Energy Carolinas. We have a motion to dismiss.
Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Whitfield.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Snyder established service from Duke Energy Carolinas on April 7th, 2018. His complaint states that overhead service lines are too close to his house and stray voltage coming from those lines is causing health issues. He seeks to have the service lines moved to the road and to have his complaint heard before the full commission. Duke has filed a motion to dismiss, supported by the affidavit of Senior Consumer Affairs Specialist Ted Allen, stating that a site visit was conducted that concluded the service lines clearance distances meet the requirements of the National Electric Safety Code. Duke asserts that relocating the line would require removing existing facilities and installing them in a new location, transferring the transformer to a new utility pole, securing a new right-of-way, and extending the service line of another customer. Mr. Chairman, Duke estimates that the cost to complete this work is $12,509. The company says that Mr. Snyder should be responsible for the cost of relocation and necessary easements based on Duke Energy's findings, supported by a sworn affidavit that there is no violation of any National Electric Safety Code requirements or any commission rules or regulations that have been violated. The motion to dismiss maintains that Mr. Snyder does not allege any violation of applicable law, and the complaint should be dismissed. Mr. Chairman, I agree that we should dismiss the complaint, and no violation of law has been alleged, and the service line meets safety requirements. Since I move that the complaint should be dismissed, the request for a hearing before the commission is moot. So moved.
Okay, you've heard Commissioner Whitfield's motion. Are there questions or comments about this? Not all in favor, please say aye. Aye. All opposed, no. The motion carries. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, that completes the utility agenda. On the transportation agenda, items 1 through 6 are applications for Class C certificates. Item number 1 is the application of Lakeisha Johnson for a Class C taxi certificate. Item number 2 is the application, again, of Lakeisha Johnson for a non-emergency certificate. Item number 3 is the application of Plymouth Expedited for a non-emergency certificate. Item number 4 is the application of AA Coastal Transportation for a Class C charter bus certificate. Item number 5 is the application of ACT Wheelchair Taxi for a non-emergency certificate. And item number 6 is the application of Curtis Enterprises of Darlington for a Class C non-emergency certificate.
Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Hamilton.
Chairman, I would move that we approve the applications in dockets number 1 through 6 that were identified by Dr. Spearman. So move, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. You've heard Commissioner Hamilton's motion. Questions or comments? Not all in favor, please say aye. Aye. All opposed, no. Motion carries. Thank you.
And item number 7, doc number 2018-282E, Encore 2K, doing business as Tiger Tail Tuk Tuk. This is for a Class C charter certificate. This is unusual in the fact that the applicant has a 3-wheeled vehicle, which I think only goes like 25 or 30 miles an hour.
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Urban.
as has been stated, this application is somewhat unique in the fact that the applicant is seeking certification of a 3-wheel vehicle that's only capable of low speeds. ORS has reviewed the matter and does not oppose granting a restricted Class C charter certificate. ORS states that while the ETUC vehicle is approved by the U.S. Department of Transportation for highway use, it only has a maximum speed of 25 miles per hour. The South Carolina DMV does not consider ETUC to be a, quote, low-speed vehicle, which is defined as having 4 wheels. Under South Carolina law, low-speed vehicles are only allowed to operate on roads with speed limits of 35 miles or less. ORS further states that the DMV has communicated that ETUC is eligible for a charter limousine license plate provided that the applicant acquires a Class C charter certificate. Given the eligibility, ORS recommends that in addition to normal Class C charter requirements, operation also be limited to secondary roads with a 40 mile per hour or less speed limit. Therefore, the applicant would be only allowed to operate within a radius of 2 miles of the corporate limits of a city or town in which the applicant is licensed to do business, and only on secondary roads where the speed limit is 40 miles per hour or less. The applicant does not oppose these restrictions imposed. Given ORS's position, I move that we approve the application of Encore 2K LLC, doing business as Tiger Tail Tuck, for a Class C charter certificate with the above-mentioned restrictions. So moved.
Thank you. You've heard Commissioner Urban's motion. Are there questions or comments? If not, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. The motion carries. Thank you.
Item number 8, doc number 2017-329T, Exquisite Ground Transportation SC, requesting to amend its certificate, change the passenger restriction.
Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Howard.
Chairman, I move we grant the request of Exquisite Ground Transportation SC to amend its Class C charter certificate, that's number 9307, to read 15 passengers. So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. You've heard Commissioner Howard's motion. Are there questions or comments? If not, all in favor, please say aye. All opposed, no. Motion carries. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, this completes our business agenda for today.
Okay, thank you. There's nothing else. We'll adjourn this meeting and we will resume at 2:30 with our hearing. Mr.